Yo, 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 what's going on, everybody? I hope you have had a wonderful day. Today was a boring kind of day in the market. Wasn't a whole lot that happened. We, except for initially, the day was kind of, uh, was very volatile and gave you good wide ranges to play in. Um, but unfortunately, I wasn't able to take advantage due to me being at work, right? Work in the early AM, and then I come home and then I try to make some money or at the very least learn. And today was just a very boring rotational day. Kind of looks like a P shape. Uh, the initial balance, our IB initial balance was basically all of B's range, right? So let me back it up here. Let's start with what happened in the beginning of the day. So let's zoom in here. So this is yesterday's close. Yesterday close, we don't count end period. End period's the settlement. But yesterday's close was 37.66.75. Well, we open up today lower with a gap at 37.32. So we opened up 34 points lower. So we opened with a gap lower. So yesterday I was talking about how we look for acceptance. Uh, we look to find acceptance below our price probe here and then continue the one time frame down on the daily. And if we did so, guess what? We would go and see the 20-day moving average. And I believe, would you look at that? We came and seen the 20-day moving average up here in the top. So, and I'll review that in the larger time frame. And actually, I think I could pull it up here. Let's go ahead and pull up the daily SMA. Edit. We want that to be 20. Make it yellow. Apply. That way we can it can be a little bit more visual for you guys. Uh, so this yellow line here that you see, that's the 20, and we battled it all day long. The 20 was at 37.39, 20 basically. And we battled it all day long today. Back and forth through it, back and forth through it. We only had a few time frames above and then a few time frames below, but back and forth through it as we were digesting yesterday's large move after the Fed. We end today with a pretty wide POC, a 12 wide POC, if I'm not mistaken. Let's count it together, guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yep, we end 12 wide at ease high, which, it's a large point of control. You don't normally in a normal market, you don't see that too often, according to a mentor and whatnot. But we in 12 wide. Back and forth through the open for the first few time frames. Like I was saying earlier, initial balance was all of B's range. We take out the IB high. We were one time framing up. You think, in B, C, you might have a good chance to go and fill the gap. Well, we never filled the gap as we held it all day long. Bulls were playing defense, and the Bears were playing offense, and it was just a battle, a war zone going on here around the open and the 20-day moving average. So if you can picture a war zone, that's basically what was happening. And I guarantee you, a lot of bodies got dropped in here. A lot of accounts were getting smashed around in this range. I only took 2 trades on the day, so I'm not even gonna bother reviewing them. I basically was break even. Matter of fact, I lost $20. I'm gonna be honest. I lost $20 on the day, but early on, I kind of just knew I wanted to stay out of the crap. I didn't know what the market wanted to do because in B period we had a small set of single prints we filled. In C period we had a small set of single prints we filled, and we weren't getting much extension from that point, right? Um, we didn't look like we wanted to go fill the gap just yet. We kept rotating back down to POC. We chopped around the open again in E period, again in F period. We rotated back up, and it was just a rotational day. So you could have been fading the edges and extremes of the highs and the lows, and you probably would have been okay, but days like today, I don't trade very well, so I tend to try to stay out of them, or I'm trying to be better about it. As far as the destinations we knocked out, we got below last week's low. Last week's low was 37.51.75. We closed below that. We're looking to find acceptance below, but we closed it below it, and it's a potential outside week down. Uh, all we've done now is put the weekly from up to balance, and I'll show you that on the larger time frames. But for now, this line right here, 37.51.75, that was last week's low. And guess what? Each and every time frame that tried to get above it, buyers got punched in the face, sellers defended, and we rolled over. We closed near our lows in M period. We only end with today's high, today's low, and a 12 wide POC. Could this be, accumulation for swing traders, long-term money coming in? Possibly. As this was kind of getting absorbed, maybe we rotate back up, take back some of this coming in tomorrow, or we continue to one time frame down on the daily. But let's go ahead and put in our destinations real quick. Try to keep this video short because it's not a whole lot to review. Just a rotational choppy day, digestion after the Fed yesterday. Bulls and Bears, all they did was play defense and offense. Big war zone, big battleground. It was very it's like watching paint dry almost. And I don't like watching paint, so I stay out. Nothing wrong with not, having no trade in or taking no trade is a trade. Like, and it's taken me quite some time to understand that, and I'm starting to become better about it. But having no trade sometimes is a trade. So don't be afraid if you're somebody who does day trade or has looked into day trading. Just keep that in mind that no trade is also a trade. All right, we got our 12 wide puck here. And then our low of day here at 0425. Also, I will not be making a video tomorrow. I have to travel to go uh, to my sister's wedding. So I'll be doing that. Will not have a video tomorrow, so anybody that does actually look at these things and watch and kind of values it, I appreciate it, but I will not be making a video tomorrow as I will be leaving town. But we go out, let me just reiterate, we go out with holding the gap and a close below last week's low. I probably should have kept that up there so it would be a little bit more visual, but it's all right. So as far as upside destinations go, we also closed below our 50 and our 20-day moving average. So upside destinations now are the 20-day moving average at 37.39, 50, and then our 12 wide pocket 37.44.25, high day at 37.58.50 where the gap starts, gap fills at 37.66.75. Price probe 37.81.25 is the next upside destination, and then where our single prints are at 37.94.25 get filled at 38.08.50. Now, if we do come back in, fill the gap, you can kind of look to take a short against the gap fill the first time. We find any acceptance in the M's range, we'll go get to that price probe, and then eventually make our way to that single prints. I would be looking to take a trade against those single prints and then maybe get a roll over. If not, if tomorrow we open up inside today's range, we will trade at the 12 wide POC. And if we decide to rotate lower, then we'll take out today's low, continue to one time frame down, and then go get that low day from the 21st, which is a pretty far destination at 36.55.50. From there, low of day and where single prints start at 35.91.25. So we got some pretty large and wide destinations above us and below us. We'll see what happens come tomorrow. And we once again have the potential to close with an outside week down. Now let's look at the larger time frames here. I could show you what I'm talking about. Weekly. Let's see, do I have it on here? So weekly, remember we had taken out, we were one time framing up, had taken out the weekly balance high, right? We were one time framing up, 2 weeks in a row. We taken out the weekly balance high. You could have called this also your balance high. We never got to it. Just it's an art, not a science, as Paul says, my mentor. So we were calling it the weekly high here. So we rotated up, took it out, didn't find acceptance above, and guess what? We closed with an out. We could potentially close with an outside week down, and then potentially put the weekly back into a balance. And it would be initially a 3 week balance using this week's high and the 2 weeks ago's low. That would be your balance area. And then you would look to rotate lower. Our daily. Remember, our daily was in a balance just a couple days ago. We were battling the 50. We broke out of balance after getting below it. We started a one-time frame down. We continued a one-time frame down today, and we end up with a doji near our 20-day moving average. We closed below it, but doesn't mean we have acceptance below it. One day doesn't make a market, so tomorrow, uh, oh, that's not what I want to do. Tomorrow, we look to see if we find acceptance below and then continue the one-time frame down on the daily and go get this next daily low. Uh, like I said, I think this market could potentially continue to roll over. I'm not sure. Uh, Nothing's set in stone, and I'm not trying to predict it, but from what I'm seeing, this could potentially continue to roll over and set new lows on the year, and this could potentially be our next lower high. But we do have the election next week, the midterm elections next week. So all that could cause volatility, could cause shorts to begin to cover and cause a short covering rally along top of a momentum buyer stepping in. And then, with that, we would put everything back into a balance. But just keep that in mind, ladies and gentlemen. We are in a downtrending market. We are in a bear market. The recession is real. People are losing jobs. Companies aren't hiring as often. Things are going to be looking rough the next 2 years. But could we be already pricing some of that in? It's a possibility, but we will see. Uh, I hope you all have a wonderful day. Thanks for watching. Please leave a like and comment below if there's anything I can do better. Other than that, we'll catch you guys in the next one. I'll see you.